Men. Welcome to Brook on Ushirikatv. As always, it's a pleasure to have you. My name is Pastor Kim, and this is Brook. And recently, the last two shows, we've been discussing about Ushuru. And during the late President Kibaki's time, we had a slogan, Tulipe Ushuru, Tujitegemee. And there are very many things about tax that we have discussed in the previous shows. And we've had a tax expert on this show. The last two shows, we've had our tax expert, Paul Mwangi, taking us through various types of taxes, taking us through why we need to file returns, taking us through tax compliance. Now last time, tukamalizia pale pa, if you don't file returns, what happens? And there are the dangers of not filing returns. And we're headed to the month of June, where we need to file our returns, and there are dangers if you don't file returns. So thank you for the great encouragement and the engagement we've had on our social media platforms and the questions that you have been posting. We thank you. And now today, Mr. Mwangi, you can say hi ili tuweze kuendelea on today's show.
Thank you, Pastor, because of giving me another opportunity to be here at Ushirikatv. I thank God for this opportunity.
Thank you. As I mentioned, Mr. Paul Mwangi is being modest in his introduction. He's a tax expert, he's an auditor, and so he knows these things. And that's why, as you can see in our previous shows, there's quite a lot of information that he has been able to give us regarding tax, especially in Kenya. Now, leo, Mr. Paul Mwangi, we saw the repercussions of not filing. We saw business penalties. We saw issues of enforcement and estimates. We saw cancellation of tax compliance certificates. And we saw that it can even be lengthened into a process that I want us to talk about today. And this is dispute. Maybe you can just, in a nutshell, just unpack what is dispute resolution as far as tax payments are concerned.
A tax dispute, we can say that it is a disagreement. Because any dispute is a disagreement. Now, in this scenario, a tax dispute, it is a disagreement between the Kenya Revenue Authority Commissioner and a taxpayer. They may disagree on various issues. They may disagree on the tax, on the allowable taxes, on the penalties and interest, and also they may disagree on even the payment.
Wow. So it's that dispute of what you said maybe that arises from the estimations that come, but maybe even to go back, I think we can avert disputes by just filing our returns on time. Because it will not bring the accrued interest and penalties. Okay, and this tax dispute, these disagreements, and when we come now to the resolution of these disputes, who are the main players who we see playing, or the main stakeholders as far as dispute resolution is concerned?
When a dispute arises, it commences by the taxpayer raising an objection in the system. Now, the main players in this one, we have the commissioner, the KRI commissioner, then we have the taxpayer. Last time we talked about the artificial person, the companies, and an individual. So, the main player is the commissioner. Then we have the artificial person, the companies. We also have the auditors. The company has now to make sure that auditors are involved, professionals are involved, auditors and lawyers.
The auditors have to be tax auditors, or are they called tax accountants or tax auditors? Because this is not just audit for profit or to know the performance of the company, it's for a dispute. Are there specific auditors and lawyers that are aligned to this?
These auditors must have been certified by ISPAC. and also they must be public accountants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. And the lawyers, do we have specific lawyers that deal with tax disputes? Because
for lawyers, I think I'm not in that line, but I think that any lawyer can deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I was asking so that, but definitely there are some who are experienced in this resolution.
In this field.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And then you mentioned that the taxpayer raises an objection in the system.
Yeah.
We are talking about the iTax system in Kenya specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. So now we've had it, we've known what a dispute is, it's a disagreement, we've known the players, we have the commissioner, we have the individual or artificial person, we have the auditors, and we have the lawyers.
Yeah.
Now, without much ado, we can maybe be taken through by our tax expert, the process of this. Maybe you've received a letter, you've received KRA knocking and saying you owe us 100 million, you owe us 5 million. Now, where do I move from here?
The process commences when a KRA commissioner issues an additional assessment to your company or to an individual. Before year 2015, these disputes were normally solved in litigation. But now the KRA came up with another method that we call alternative dispute resolution. This method is a bit cheaper compared to litigation, and also it does not take a long duration of time as compared to litigation. Okay. The process starts when the commissioner, as I have said, the commissioner issues an additional assessment. The commissioner may issue an additional assessment to you if he is not satisfied that whatever you filed is enough. Or if you totally fail to file your returns, the commissioner, through the information that he has, he can issue an additional assessment to you. Okay. Now, when you receive it is called a demand notice. Okay. When you receive a demand notice via email from KRA, what are you supposed to do? Within a duration of 30 days, you are supposed to raise an objection in the system. Okay. An objection, you have to write a letter and you put it in the system, and you have to cite the grounds of your objection. Okay. Why are you objecting? You are not agreeing with the commissioner. So from there you have to explain, these are the reasons why I'm not agreeing with you. I don't have to pay all this money. Okay. So you have to raise an objection in the system. Before we go to the objection, because the objection seems like it's a response, it's actually a response to a demand. Yeah. Does the commissioner give specifics? Or it's just, the reason I'm asking is because sometimes we feel like KRA, when they come and say, I want your cow, they will not tell you why they want the cow. You just have to say, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Yeah. But do they come and say, I want, we have a demand for 10 million or for 2 million based on this? Either the way you filed for VAT, we feel or we have evidence showing that you actually made more money, and you should actually pay more than you have. Are there specifics, or it's just a blanket demand? The commissioner is so detailed that he has enough information about your sales and about your purchases and any other information that he may be having that enable him to raise the assessment. Okay. So he'll not just issue a demand notice without an explanation. So all these things tumekuwa tukisikia, it's political. Yeah. It's political. Yeah. It cannot be political because there's actually a detailed demand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Now, after receiving the demand notice, the taxpayer, we have said that the taxpayer is supposed to lodge an objection. On objection, yes. In iTax. Within a period of 30 days. what is the taxpayer supposed to do when lodging the objection? He has to make sure that, we have said that he has to make sure that he give numerous grounds on why he believes that the additional assessment should not be issued to him or her.
Okay.
The second one is that as the taxpayer raises the objection, he or she has to prepare the documents, the supporting documents, to show that he believes that he is not in that debt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So the objection has to be detailed and supported.
Yeah, and supported.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have any protection through the law that supports this, so that the person does not feel, if I do this, sitaskizwa, it's already done, a done deal? Is a individual, the taxpayer, protected by the law in terms of what he's doing to raise an objection?
Yeah, in Tax Procedures Act, TPA
Yes.
Act 2015,
Yes.
it provides that the taxpayer can lodge in for an objection
Okay.
in the system.
Okay.
So it is given in the law.
It's in the law.
Yeah, it is in the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. I think I don't want us to proceed before we take a short break. We'll be taking a short break here. We've defined what disputes are. We've seen how a dispute is raised. We've seen the players in a dispute. And maybe before we go for the break, before you file an objection, it's good also to involve the professionals.
Yeah.
You don't just go file
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah. Actually, when you are filing for an objection,
Yes.
you have to appoint a professional.
Okay. Okay.
You cannot file the objection by yourself. You have to appoint professional auditors
Yes.
to do it for you,
Okay.
or a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's why we had also talked about the players. You don't just get into the system and respond in emotions. It's good to discuss with the professionals. When we get back, we'll continue with this process and know what happens after you file an objection. And I think today, men out there who have had issues even with tax payments, I think there's hope. There's hope that once you get the demand, don't feel like it's all crumbling down, don't get into depression, don't get into issues and mental health issues. There is hope. And I know maybe towards the end, maybe our tax expert can tell us of some issues that have been resolved here and there for you to know that there's hope at the end of the day. Stay right put, stay on Ushirikatv, Brook. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Brook. This is your host, Pastor Kim, and today, as we've been in the last two sessions, the last two shows, we've had a tax expert. That is our tax expert, Paul Mwangi. And today, before we went on the short break, we had discussed about dispute resolution, what is dispute resolution process, and what are the players in a dispute resolution. Na tukaambiwa ya kwamba the commissioner issues a demand, then in consultation with the professionals, the lawyers or the auditors, the taxpayer responds on iTax to the demand issued by the commissioner. And now our tax expert will take us, now tumepata the first letter coming from, or the demand coming from the commissioner.
Yeah.
The taxpayer responds.
Yeah.
Now I think the ball is in the court of the commissioner again.
Yeah.
How now do they respond to that?
Okay, thank you. Now, after the taxpayer lodges the objection in iTax, now the commissioner has a period of 60 days to respond to the objection.
Okay.
The commissioner can respond to the objection by totally amending the assessments. That means that the commissioner, in his knowledge, has agreed that the assessments that were made are totally wrong.
Okay. based on the information given by the taxpayer.
The taxpayer.
Okay.
If the taxpayer provided all the relevant documents. The
And we
commission.
have instances that happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can
Wow.
happen. Yeah.
Okay.
The commissioner can also respond by partially amending the objection. So it means that the commissioner may feel that he is agreeing with part of the objection, and he is not agreeing with some part of the objection.
Okay.
The commissioner can also respond by totally declining not to amend the objection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, when he declines, you pay, or what do you do? Because partially amending the first one favors the taxpayer. The partially is 50-50.
Yeah.
You can decide to drop off the process there, and you say, okay, to finish this story, he had asked for 10 million, he has now asked for 5 million, let me just pay the 5 million to Malizane. But now declining, you are still aggrieved. You still feel you're being...
You are still aggrieved.
Yes.
And you are not in agreement with the commissioner.
Yes.
And before even I go to that, it's good to note, if the commissioner does not respond within this duration of 60 days, the amendment, the assessments are null and void.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he has to start...
So the commissioner has to make sure that he responds within the duration of given 60 days.
That's interesting, Paul. If he does not respond within 60 days, the whole dispute resolution, the dispute process, is null and void. What if he comes back after 1 year with the same?
He can come back with the same, but the taxpayer again can write a letter and remind the commissioner that maybe last year we were in the same dispute, but he did not respond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So your question was now after the commissioner declines. What happens?
Yes.
Now you can the taxpayer normally applies for alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
This is not a court. The taxpayer and the KRI people decide to discuss the issues together, and they can come up with an agreement. It is an out of court dispute resolution.
And who is a referee here? Because I had given an objection, you declined, and then now we still have to sit together. I think there needs to be like a referee to try and amend.
Normally in alternative dispute resolution, I have said that this one is an out of court dispute resolution. We don't have a referee.
Okay.
It is between the taxpayer and the commissioner.
Okay.
The persons that have been appointed by the commissioner. Yeah.
Okay.
The KRI officials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just maybe on the same, we've seen the judiciary taking a lot of ADRs nowadays, alternative dispute resolution. And we have alternative dispute resolution experts. Can they be called in at this time, or it's just purely between the two of you?
This process is very confidential.
Okay.
So you cannot call in someone else who is not involved in the case to take part. So it is merely between the officials from KRI and the taxpayer. Wow.
So now, what happens in the alternative dispute resolution?
In ADR, now the taxpayer and the KRI people, they discuss about the taxes that have been raised. If they come up with an agreement that the taxpayer has to pay certain amount of money, the case ends at that. If they don't come up with an agreement, now the case will now go to the next level.
So here we expect the same results as at the first response. There might be a full assessment, partial assessment, or decline. So now after this, it now moves to an escalation. So after this is out of court. We are still not in court.
Yeah.
So now, at which point do we get into the courts?
Now, if the taxpayer and the commissioner, they do not agree, totally don't agree, or the commissioner partially agree, the taxpayer, through the Tax Tribunal Act, has the power to go to tax tribunal. Yeah. Now this one is a court to apply for tax tribunal. Yeah, he has to pay a refundable fee of 20,000. Yeah.
To file for this to be heard.
Yeah. And again, he has to make sure that he provides a notice of appeal to the tribunal, and it has to be followed by a memorandum of appeal. Yeah.
So who does this? Is it the lawyer or the auditor?
The auditor and the lawyer works together to make sure that they provide the same to the KRI, the tribunal.
And taking you back, at the alternative dispute resolution, what is there a document given to say that after this ADR, this is what the commissioner feels, and serves the taxpayer, for the taxpayer to say, I'm still aggrieved and I want to go to the next level? And within which duration?
Yeah. After the ADR, now the ADR again will give in writing a letter detailing all the discussions and the agreement. If the commissioner was not satisfied with what the taxpayer provided, now he have to write that one in letter, and the same letter, the taxpayer will use the letter now to go to tribunal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the tribunal, you say now we're in the court.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens with the tax tribunal?
Now here, a duration of 90 days is given. 90 days. Now this one is a court. When you have a dispute in a court of law, you have Part A and Part B. Now the Part A is the taxpayer, and Part B, it is the commissioner, or the officials that represents the commissioner. Normally they have their own lawyers. Yeah. So now here, again, a serious discussion will take place, and provision of all documents is going to take place. The taxpayer is supposed to give or provide any relevant document that he feels should maybe save him or her from the mess. So the court will go through the documents and the assessments, and now if they come up with an agreement, they will agree. Yeah. If they don't come up with an agreement, now the taxpayer has the maybe he can decide to escalate the case now.
The right of appeal now to another higher.
Yeah, to another high level. But the commissioner will give in writing the agreement, what they have agreed. Yeah, they may reduce that amount to a lower amount. If now the taxpayer he is not contented, he can decide to escalate the case to the next level.
Yeah. And which is the next level?
High Court.
High Court. Yeah. So High Court is a. Can these things go to Court of Appeal, Supreme Court? Ama ikifika High Court?
Now, when you go to High Court, if now you don't even agree in High Court, you can end up in
Court of Appeal
and Supreme Court. Yeah.
Now, we are wrapping this up, but assuming I have agreed at High Court or Court of Appeal or wherever that I will go, and then I feel I have agreed I'll pay 20 million, but I don't have the 2 million or the 20 million. What else can I invoke? Can I get a repayment plan, or what can I do?
Yeah, if you come up with an agreement with the commissioner to pay maybe 20 million, and you don't have that money, the commissioner can give you a payment plan.
Okay.
Maybe a duration of 1 year, 12, that is 12 months.
Yeah.
A duration of 2 years, 24 months.
Okay.
A duration of 3 years, but they normally give 1 or 2 years.
1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. We are wrapping this up, and it's good that we've known the process, and we've also known that even at the end of the process, you can still invoke a repayment plan for you not to feel ambushed, for the business not to go down.
Yeah.
And as we wind up, I want you to just talk to a man who might not have a company, but has not filed returns for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Na nashindwa now, what do I do? Do I go to the dispute resolution? I know there are penalties accruing because of not filing my income tax.
Yeah, yeah.
How can they start a process, a discussion with KRA for them to be able to get a certificate, a tax compliance certificate if they need one?
Okay, thank you. If you have a company and you have not been filing your returns for a number of years, it is the time you file your returns, because you are just postponing a problem. So you have to make sure that you file the returns, and automatic imposition of penalties and interest will occur in your iTax. Then after that, you can maybe apply for waiver as provided in TPA Act 2015.
Okay.
You can apply for waiver and interest. After applying for waiver, you will get the waiver acknowledgement letter.
Okay.
Now you can use that letter to go to the commissioner. You can discuss with him on how you are going to pay the penalties on a payment plan.
Okay.
So the commissioner will issue compliance to you upon agreeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Paul. I think one thing that our tax expert Paul has been able to do is to demystify that it's not, you don't need to run berserk to get mental health issues, as I had started by mentioning, because once you get the demand, or if you have not filed, let's make it right. We talked about a while back about mental cases within men, and this is part of it. Once they get a demand, they think the world is sinking. But we have seen kuna solution. There are solutions. And that is why we have tax experts like Paul, who can be able to take you through at even personal level, and individual level, and company level, on what you need to do. This is the last show on tax, and I would want, like our tax expert, Paul, also to make a closing remark and say 1 or 2 things, and also where you can find them, and on social media where you can find us, so that in case you have any issue that you want to discuss with him, he's open, and we are here to help you. So over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Pastor Kim. Thank you because of giving me an opportunity to educate Kenyans on how to file returns, on how to pay the taxes, on how to avoid penalties and interest. It was a great opportunity for Kenyans to learn. I thank God for you. If you have an issue with KRA, if you want to you have a problem, you have a challenge, maybe if you have a dispute, you can contact me via my mobile number 0723 061 453, or you can send an email to me via mwangipol282@gmail.com, and we are going to help you. We are located at Santa Estate, Gong Road. If you want to come, you can give me a call, and I'm going to direct you to Santa Estate. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Usinyamaze na shida zako. Hapa kama pastor tutakuombea, lakini KRA zaidi ya maombi. You must do what they need to do. So thank you so much. Let's keep it on Ushirikatv. Let's keep it on Brook. As always, it's a pleasure to have you. My name is Pastor Kim. Until next time, God bless you.